We are in our series Effective Team Meetings, and today my topic is meetings should have different goals. Sometimes a leader thinks, I don't want more than one meeting, and at this meeting we need to deal with everything, all the decisions for the month or for the next 3 months, or maybe even in the worst case, even for the next year. This meeting will be pre-programmed to be a disaster, because what we're trying to do here is just to throw everything into one big pot, and at the end one isn't sure what is happening. We're not sure how it's going to turn out. So what we need here, what each leader needs, what the team needs, is a meeting that has different goals. And I think there are 4 different options of meetings. And if each time we define the goal differently, we will automatically be more effective. We will be automatically more creative in the way we actually have this team meeting. There are daily team meetings, there are weekly team meetings, and there are monthly team meetings, and then there are also meetings that happen quarterly or every 6 months. And I want to explain what I mean and what we could do in these different meetings. Firstly, a daily meeting. A daily meeting is a quick exchange. We meet in standing, 5 minutes. Each one can have a half a minute just to say what they're wanting to do. Maybe we're having a coffee together, and then we begin the day. There are no discussions, and this helps to avoid unnecessary long email exchanges. It's an exchange so that we can work better together. It's not for all types of organizational topics. It's not practical for that. There may be those in home office, maybe they're all in home office. It could help for people like this. In the corona time, I heard of people that met often in this way to just have that contact with each other and to know from each other what is happening right now in the team. And if a person is not available to be present at a meeting like this, it doesn't matter, because it's about an exchange, a quick exchange. And as I said, it's so that we avoid all these long emails and exchanges. And then we have the weekly team meetings. And the goal here is to discuss the current urgent that needs coordination. Maybe everyone in the team brings the problems that they have for the last week. We deal with those. It's to have that contact with each other so we know where each one is at in the team. And at this meeting, everyone is there. Everyone makes this team meeting as a priority. And usually this meeting is about 60 to 90 minutes long. It's a meeting where at the beginning we have a greeting, just to experience warmth between each other. And then each one has an opportunity just to say what they've experienced during the week. Some teams are very disciplined. They say each one has 60 seconds. Others have a bit more time. But in any case, this needs to be kept short. What have we been through? And then we have the part where we talk about progress made, what has happened in our areas. And again, no long talks, no in-depth talks are intended here. But our agenda for a meeting like this needs to be a bit more spontaneous. Maybe we do have 1 or 2 topics from a previous agenda, but this agenda is important for the day because we need to know what's coming up for that meeting. So long-term strategic considerations are meant for another meeting. There's no time to come to solutions or to have deep thoughts on strategic considerations at this meeting. And it's also not a time to start throwing overboard things that we've already discussed, or talking about the direction of the team or the organization or the church. Not at this meeting. You can always rethink everything, but at this meeting, we need to maybe make a list of things we need to discuss at another meeting, a meeting where the goal is to rethink things. Then the next meeting is the monthly meeting. This happens once a month. It's meant for specific topics of 2 hours. We have more time to go into strategic, deep conversations. We call this meeting a work group meeting. We have different topics, different teams, for example, sermon discussion, or youth, or events, or media. And at these meetings, we take time to go in depth, to really discuss the important issues in those various areas, which direction we're taking, what goals we want for the next month, next 2 months. At our sermon meeting, we talk about long-term goals we have for our series. And these things we can discuss without any pressure because we're focused. The agenda we have for a month. So each month we have weekly, we gather our thoughts and we put that together, and then we bring that to the agenda for that monthly meeting. And that is where these topics are then discussed. We mustn't have 2 various topics at each particular work meeting. That's why it's important to communicate what is on the agenda so that we have a good, well-planned meeting. And then we have the quarterly or half-annually meeting. And here it's very important that your team, that my team, can come out of the daily life, daily routine, and can focus on the whole year, or maybe the next 2 or 3 years even. And we can focus on that. And that's where we have concentrated discussions about our future. And here it's also very important that the team leader doesn't allow the small nitty-gritties. We don't often have these teams, and so everyone who comes knows the goal of this meeting is to think strategically. Where are we moving to? We talk about our strengths, our weaknesses. What opportunities do we have to start new things? Where are the threats that we need to deal with and look at and actually have decisions, make decisions to deal with these things? At a meeting like this, many years ago, we decided to buy a property. And these sort of decisions come from a meeting like this. We analyze where we are as a team. Are we a good team? We discuss where we have hitches, blind spots. Where can we do things better? And we set goals for a whole year. This has really helped us in our team. Not too many presentations at this meeting. Maybe in the beginning, just as an impulse for discussion, but here we also talk about our personnel, our office workers. What plans do we have? What plans do we need to make when we're starting new things? Who do we need to put into place as we grow? Which areas do we have weaknesses where we need to go more in depth and think about who are those coming through so that we can have people working in those positions. So in this meeting, when we get together, it should be our regular team. Don't start adding people to it for this, because when you have too many people at this group, it just cuts out the conversations we could normally have with each other. And I think that it's also very helpful to sometimes get someone from outside to give us another perspective. At the end of last year, in December, we had a guest that we invited to give us some ideas and tips our topic was our building project. So we invited someone who joined us on Zoom, and he gave us some impulses and ideas because he has a lot of experience in this area. And we wanted to get some of this out of the box thinking that he had so that we could have some new ideas, fresh ideas for our project. So a couple of questions for you in closing. For the phase where we are now as an organization or as a church, do we have the right meetings planned? Or is something missing? Are we having too many of the one particular kind of meeting? Second question, is the goal of each meeting clear? Do we know why we are meeting? And thirdly, do we have time for an analyzing? Do we have time to dream? Clearly speaking, do we have our quarterly, half-yearly, or annual meetings? These meetings are so important for us because at these meetings we have time to dream. We have time to think about what is really important, and then we can start planning our goals in these areas. And it's not just making decisions under pressure, where in our daily life we get under pressure and we start making decisions. No, we know what is important. Answer these 3 questions and you will be prepared for our next topic that we will have.